In this video, I will try to explain the concept of virtual DOM in React. But before I talk about the virtual DOM, let me explain you how it was working before the virtual DOM came into picture or before the React was invented. So traditionally what we do is, if you want to dynamically render some elements on the UI, for example in this case here, so once the page is loaded, we have got these three elements that are being fetched from some third-party database, for example. So here we are rendering these three elements, the list items on the UI. And traditionally how we do that is we can use the JavaScript. Okay, so here is one method that we have got. So what this method is doing is, it is creating the unordered list, that UL element, and then it is creating the list item elements for each fruit. So that is what is happening in this particular code. So that's how you traditionally render the elements on UI. So let us say next another element comes. So what will happen is that again, say a new list comes, then what will happen is that this list will be destroyed completely. Okay, UL will be destroyed and then new UL will be created. So you can see there is a refresh button here, and on the refresh what is happening is we are getting the new list of the fruits, and again we are calling this generate list. Okay, so what is basically happening is that the old unordered list is removed, new unordered list is created, and then again new list items are also created. But there is a problem with this approach. The problem is that, like destroying the existing DOM nodes, that is UL, and then all the LIs, list items nodes in the real DOM is an expensive operation. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate. Like there is a refresh button, and then if I click on the refresh, you can see the first LI is changed, but the remaining two LIs haven't changed. And even though they haven't changed, what is happening is that UL, previous UL is completely removed from the DOM, real DOM, and then new UL is created and the new elements are added, even though the last two elements haven't changed. That is the big problem with the traditional approaches, and that's where the virtual DOM comes into picture. So virtual DOM is trying to solve this problem. So I hope you have understood the problem that virtual DOM is trying to solve. So virtual DOM is trying to avoid these creation of the extra elements that are already there in the DOM, and what we want to do is we want to only update those nodes or the elements in the real DOM that have changed. For example, in this case only the first list item custard apple has changed. So to make things faster, we need to just change the first LI element. Okay, and that is what virtual DOM will be doing. So what happens is that I'll just refresh it once again. So this is v1. Okay, this is v1, virtual DOM 1, and there will be apple, orange, and banana. Okay, that is v1. And once we hit the refresh this thing, what happens is that you can see v2 is created. So there is a v2 and there was a v1. Okay, so what happens is that a React library will compare this v1 and v2. So basically it's a snapshot is compared, the previous snapshot is compared with the current VDOM. Remember that real DOM is not being considered at this point of time. Real DOM is completely different from this v1 and v2. This is virtual DOMs. Okay, two virtual DOMs are being compared, and at this point of time what will happen is that it will identify that only the first li is changed, okay, from apple to custard apple. And then that way react knows that, okay, we will just update that first element only, custard apple, that's it. And then that's how it avoids the rendering of the other elements or creation of the other elements as well. So that way it saves the time basically, because the rendering operation is very expensive and it takes the resources. Also the user experience will also get impacted if the list is huge or there are a lot of nodes there in the DOM. And that's how the virtual DOM is trying to solve this problem of uh, inefficient rendering of the elements by introducing these virtual DOMs and then comparing in between. And then once the comparison happens, it knows exactly which nodes needs to be updated in the actual real DOM, and then it makes those updates. I hope it cleared this concept of the virtual DOM. And basically, this process of comparing these virtual DOMs V1 and V2 is called as reconciliation or diffing. So in the diffing, diffing algorithm is used to find out like what nodes have changed between these two DOMs, and then only those nodes will be updated in the actual real DOM, and that is called as a reconciliation process. I hope this video cleared all your doubts. If you have more doubts, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in next video. Till then, enjoy your time.